Hello there, Aries. Thank you so much for stopping by for your weekly tarot video forecast. This forecast is for the week of May the 2nd through May the 8th. We're going to pull one card for each day, see what kind of energy shows up as a highlight, see if there's a theme that goes through the week or not. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. And what else do you guys need to know? This is a general reading. Not everything I see here is going to apply to every single Aries who watches this video, but most of it should apply to most of you. If you would like to have a private reading, if you have some other questions, or even if you have questions about what shows up in this reading, feel free to reach out to me. If we do a private reading, I can look at your energy all by itself without having other energies influencing as well. So that's always kind of a nice thing. We can count on a reading like that. Anyway, let's take a peek at what shows up here, Aries. What do we have? Okay, we start off Saturday with the Hierophant. That's interesting. Are y'all going to a wedding on Saturday? And then Sunday, our second card is the Eight of Pentacles. So very interesting. Hierophant does talk about some kind of contract or commitment. You guys could be attending a wedding. You could be the central stars of the wedding. That could be. You could also be signing up for a mortgage or signing on to a car loan or a car lease or something like that. Long-term contract or commitment. So this is something that lasts more than a couple of weeks or a couple of months. Okay. So like I said, could be a wedding. Could have something to do with the wedding. Doesn't have to be that though. And then let's look at Sunday. Now, this is really interesting. Sunday is supposed to be the day of rest, according to what I've always been taught, but I don't really strictly adhere to that myself. But we do see the Eight of Pentacles coming up. This says you're getting some kind of work accomplished on Sunday. So some of you may actually be going into work on Sunday. There may be others of you that are doing some kind of volunteer work on Sunday. That comes up on the Eight of Coins as well. And also this could be work around the house. It doesn't have to be work for an employer or work on your business. This can be work around the house as well, but you're getting some kind of work done. Oh, and one other thing it can be self-work. Could be happening Sunday as well. I feel like that's really more of a minority of you, maybe 10%. Most of you, I feel like this is some kind of more tangible version of work. Now let's move into the week, Aries. Let's see what you have. We have the Eight of Swords coming up for Monday. We're going to talk about all these cards a little bit more. We're just going to run through them quickly first, though. Tuesday, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Wednesday, look at this. You have the Chariot. Yay! We like that card. And then Thursday, we have the Ten of Wands. And Friday, we have the Tower. What is happening here? You guys got 0 reversals this week. How did that happen? Do I have reversals in my deck? What's happening here? Because you guys know, usually there's a lot of reversals with me. No, there are reversals there. You guys just got all upright cards. Wild. So Friday, you guys have the Tower card showing up. Okay. So let's talk about all this stuff. Let's get into the nitty gritty, shall we? All right, so Eight of Swords coming up on Monday just says there's something that you're overthinking or you're thinking in circles. Every time you think you found the answer to this, then you realize, oh, wait, I forgot about this little detail. Let me factor that in. And then you kind of start your calculations all over again. So this talks about that kind of second guessing, thinking in circles, overthinking. It's analysis paralysis is really what it is. And so the best way to get past this is to know, first of all, this card gives us a little bit of a clue about how to get past it. First, it says that we're the ones that are causing any kind of limitations or restrictions here on ourselves with our own perspective, where nobody from the outside world actually is. We're doing this to ourselves. Okay, so that's the first thing to know about that card when it shows up. And so if you catch yourself overthinking or an analysis paralysis on Monday, that's, let yourself click back to thinking of me saying this. But also the other thing about this is sometimes it takes someone else's perspective, because it is our perspective locking us in, sort of, so to speak. Sometimes it takes someone else's perspective to help us come out of that. And so my favorite thing to do when I realize I'm in analysis paralysis is to imagine I'm talking to someone completely neutral. My favorite example is the mail carrier. And imagine you're telling them about this whole situation. And sometimes just hearing the words come out of our mouth, or even hearing what we think of as the words coming out of our mouth, as hearing that in our minds, sometimes will just be the key that unlocks that whole situation right away. And if that doesn't, then, consider, what is this person's reaction going to be when I tell them about this situation? Even just that imaginary conversation a lot of times can unlock where we've got ourselves kind of strapped in. And then if that doesn't work, then maybe you do talk to somebody who's more objective and not right in the middle of whatever the situation is. And a lot of times that can actually help. Usually you don't have to actually go that far. A lot of times hearing those words come out of our own mouth, we go, oh my gosh, I see. I see where I'm holding myself captive here. And then it's no big deal to get out of that situation or to move forward productively. Let's say it like that. Now, let's look at Tuesday. Tuesday is the Nine of Pentacles. I really like this card. It talks about doing things that we can pull off independently and self-sufficiently and feel good about what we're doing. So I really like that card. And this doesn't mean that you're necessarily even a single person. It's just something that you're doing independently. Okay? Doesn't mean your whole life is single. Now, Wednesday. Chariot card. This is probably, you've got a lot of good cards, actually. This is probably the best card of the spread, but you've got a lot of good ones. So the Chariot card just says you are moving forward together with somebody else. You guys have your eye on the same prize and you're on the same team moving towards that, and that is going together well. Sometimes this is a card that talks about a successful marriage, and so that could be that there's something particularly juicy and good happening in your marriage that is fantastic. You guys could be meeting some kind of goal that you have set for yourselves as a couple. Um, or as a throuple, or whatever the case may be. But anyway, this is a really great card. This can also talk about travel. You may be doing some kind of travel today. To me, the Chariot implies something a little bit more long distance than some of the other cards do when we talk about travel. It doesn't even have to be travel. It is definitely going towards a goal that's a common goal and being able to get there just fine together and enjoying the ride as well, whether that ride is a literal ride in a vehicle or whether that ride is, the process of getting to the goal. So anyway, let's move forward. Thursday, we have the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands talks about picking up some kind of responsibility. Okay, so for those of you looking for a job, this could be starting to work or accepting a contract for work or something like that. But for others of you, this could just be picking up some kind of new responsibility. Maybe you have a kid that's starting karate class or something like that, and now it's your responsibility to make sure they have the proper garments to wear and that you get them there at the right time and all that kind of stuff. Could be something like that as well, or anything, in between. Some type of new responsibility that you're picking up. And then looking at Friday, here we have the Tower. This is a massive shakeup that is coming in. And Aries, you guys are the kings and queens of massive shakeups. So I wouldn't be surprised if you weren't creating this shakeup yourself. Hang on just a second. We're going to find out. Are the Aries people creating this shakeup? Boop ba da doo da, boop ba da doo, boop ba da doo doo doo. Okay. I don't think you're actually creating this shakeup, but I do think you're taking full advantage of it. So the Tower is an interesting card because it talks about a situation that we're in because at one time it brought us security and stability, but we've kind of outgrown it. So if this was a job, this would be like a job we went into because it was way better than the last job we had or way better than being unemployed even. But now there's no more upward mobility. Like we've hit the glass ceiling in whatever company this is or whatever. And so then whenever we have the tower, this is really spirit saying, you know what? You can't grow anymore here. You're becoming lukewarm. Ugh, nobody likes lukewarm. So if we don't start looking for some place that we can grow, spirit will kick us out of what we have. One way or the other, they'll make it happen. And then it's on us to start looking for something to replace whatever that was that we thought made us feel stable and secure before with something even better. And we'll find something even better. Spirit wouldn't be kicking us out of here if there wasn't something better to be found. So at the beginning, like on Friday, you might find yourself sort of catching your breath and getting your feet back under you whenever this first happens. But like I said, it feels to me like you're taking full advantage of this situation. I think some of you are going to even be going, oh, well, I was about to let go of this anyway. And it just helps you to move forward. For others of you, yeah, it might take a little bit of catch your breath time and then move forward. But I really feel like I said, the way I was when I was looking at the clarifying cards, I really think that even though you're not the one instigating this shakeup, you're taking full advantage of it. I think you can see pretty quickly what the benefits are to you, and you're taking advantage of those benefits and moving forward in a way that actually is very productive and happiness making. So I'm actually liking this tower a lot, even though I know people are afraid of it. It's always just the beginning of a story that has a happy ending. It's just if you're not happy yet, you're not at the ending. Easy for me to say. I know. Anyway, that's what we have for your week, Aries. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all so much. Everyone, if you want to have a private reading or a mentoring session, or even if you want to have Reiki, please let me know. All my contact information is at my website right there at the top of this picture. And I will be looking forward to working with some of you this week. And the rest of you, I'll see you back on the next video. Peace out.